Since she has signed this contract, you guys, and her WNBA season has come and gone. And with that, Nike has not done one thing to promote her. We have not seen any commercials. We have not seen any ads. We have not seen any Caitlin Clark merchandise. And we for sure as hell have not seen any Caitlin Clark signature shoes. It is mind-blowing.
Nike faced an unprecedented crisis. After months of public pressure from women's sports advocates, the brand was accused of abandoning female athletes despite decades of girl power messaging.
See, I don't know what it is between Nike and Caitlin Clark, but for some eerie reason, it seems like Nike really much don't respect Caitlin Clark. Or am I tripping? Get down in the comment section right now. Let me know if y'all think Nike respect Caitlin Clark. Because to me, this is my own personal opinion and my own observation of what I've been seeing for the last 2.5 years. Nike don't really respect Caitlin Clark like that. And to me, every other brand do.
Everyone wanted to know, would Nike step up for Caitlin Clark or would they hide? Their answer shocked the internet, and it all started with one eye. Before the Nike storm, before the global phenomenon, Caitlin was just another college athlete. But the State Farm commercial changed everything. It wasn't scripted nervousness. It was professional effortlessness. One single commercial outperformed entire WNBA final marketing campaigns.
What does it take to achieve greatness? To rewrite history and go places no athlete has ever gone before? It takes passion, heart, and a community that's there for you every step of the way. State Farm is proud to cover greatness.
Brands noticed immediately. She wasn't just an athlete who could do ads. She was an advertising engine disguised as an athlete. From that moment, the biggest brands in the world wanted her. But Nike had a problem they didn't anticipate. As Caitlin's fame skyrocketed, Nike found themselves facing unexpected heat. Fans and advocates called them out publicly with viral Dear Nike messages. The accusation was simple but devastating. You talk about supporting girls and women, but you refuse to truly stand up for them. Where were you when it mattered? Where was your voice?
Nike.
Dear Nike.
Dear Nike. Why won't you stand up for me?
Why won't you stand up for me? Why won't you?
Why do you claim to support women and girls?
Yet when we need you most,
you remain silent.
Today, males are claiming our identity,
our sports,
our spaces.
Men and boys are stealing opportunities, medals, trophies, and our future.
And it's not fair or just.
In fact, it's often dangerous. Yet you refuse to use your platform to stand up.
You say you're for social justice and progress.
So why do you allow men's rights to come before ours? See, with a big platform
comes an even bigger responsibility.
You have a chance to do the right thing.
Not just do the easy thing.
So we're asking you, Nike.
So we're asking you, Nike.
So we're asking you, Nike.
As the biggest voice in all of sports.
Will you stand up for me? Will you stand up for me?
Will you stand up for me? Will you stand up for me? Will you?
The pressure grew. Nike's silence was becoming its own kind of answer. Then, Nike did something nobody expected. They didn't just respond. They made a declaration. The Nike commercial opened in total silence. A dim locker room. Caitlin sits alone. She lifts her head, slowly opens one eye. At first glance, it looked like a CGI snake eye, a reptile-like iris glowing under shadows. Then people zoomed in, enhanced, paused, analyzed. What they discovered sent shockwaves across social media. It wasn't a snake eye. It was the Kobe Bryant Black Mamba logo, subtly built into her pupil. One single frame, a symbolic handoff. The fiercest competitor of his generation, passing the torch to the new one.
And in other Caitlin Clark news, Nike just released a brand new commercial featuring Caitlin Clark and her new Kobe shoe that she released today. And I saw this commercial yesterday on social media. I thought it was so cool. There's a shot when she's in the locker room and she opens her eye and it like turns into what looks like a snake eye, but when you zoom in, it's actually the Kobe logo in her eye. And as you know, Kobe's nickname was the Black Mamba. I just felt like across the board, this commercial was a 10 for 10. And a lot of people have been been getting on Nike because they don't feel like they have been promoting Caitlyn as much as they should. But I will say we have to give credit where credit is due. I feel like in the past month or so, they have been tweeting about Caitlyn more. And then obviously with this shoe release, they made this super sick commercial to promote it.
Within minutes, millions of reactions flooded in. Fan edits, slow motion breakdowns, comments flooded in. This is the hardest shot Nike has done in years. And she's not the future. She's the present. Nike didn't just promote Caitlyn, they anointed her. But that was only the first 10 seconds. The rest of the commercial escalated everything. From there, the ad went full Super Bowl mode. Caitlyn appeared alongside Aya Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Shakira Richardson, and other elite women who became symbols of ambition and dominance. The voiceover wasn't soft or inspirational. It was defiant. You'll be told you can't do it, so do it anyway. You'll be told you can't win, so win.
You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be so ambitious. You can't break records. You can't have any fun. You can't make demands. You can't be proud. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
Every shot, every line, every athlete carried the same message. Try to stop us, you won't. The viral explosion that followed centered entirely on Caitlyn. While every star delivered impact, her scenes felt like a spotlight moment. A signal that she wasn't just another athlete in an ad. She was becoming the face of the entire movement. Within hours, the numbers proved it. Tens of millions of views, thousands of edits, reaction videos across all platforms, trending in multiple countries. Research firms ranked it as top-tier Super Bowl-level emotional impact. For a rookie in her first season, it was unreal. But this commercial was only one piece of something much bigger. Caitlyn had already been quietly transforming every brand she touched. Gatorade water bottles sold out in days. Wilson released special edition basketballs with her initials. They became collector items instantly. The CC monogram turned into one of the most requested logos for apparel and merch. Kids brought Caitlyn-branded Gatorade bottles to school. Her signature basketballs appeared on resale sites at premium prices. The pattern was undeniable. Every brand Caitlyn worked with saw the same result. Viral clips, skyrocketing sales, massive search spikes, engagement levels unheard of in women's sports. Nike wasn't just promoting her. Nike was betting their entire brand credibility on her, and they won. What shocked everyone inside the industry was how naturally Caitlyn handled all of this. She didn't look overwhelmed. She didn't look scripted. She looked authentic. Brands don't just want reach. They want authenticity on camera. Caitlyn checks both boxes better than almost anyone of her generation. Nike's choice to center the entire commercial around "Do It Anyway" was brilliant because it matched Caitlyn's entire brand identity. She's the player who took logo threes before people believed women should shoot that far. She's the one who filled arenas that had been half empty for years. She broke records nobody thought were reachable. The ad didn't just showcase talent, it showcased her mentality. Here's what Nike's commercial really revealed. Caitlyn Clark isn't just a promising rookie. She's a cultural movement, and movements don't slow down, they grow. Brands understand this now. The LPGA got it. They built an entire event around her and saw massive engagement. Gatorade understands. Wilson understands. Nearly every major sponsor is fighting for a chance to secure even one commercial appearance with her. This is what happens when a player stops being an athlete and becomes a brand. This is what happens when commercials don't just promote products, they promote movements. The real question Nike answered wasn't whether they'd support Caitlyn. It was whether they were willing to bet their entire brand narrative on her. And they did. Her next shoe drop will shatter sales records. Her next commercial will go viral on impact. Every brand that wasn't sure about her a year ago is now fighting for a contract. If this video opened your eyes to something you missed, hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into sports culture and the people changing the game. Drop a comment below. What moment from Caitlyn's rise shocked you the most? Thanks for watching.
So it looked like Caitlin Clark is about to return to the basketball court sooner than expected. I'm here to tell you, Caitlin Clark is about to be on a team with Angel Reese. Yes, she's about to be on a basketball team with Angel Reese. Team USA is about to kick off training camp. Caitlin Clark is making her mark. She's definitely playing in this.
Caitlin Clark just walked into Team USA's December training camp, and A'ja Wilson is watching from home. This is the moment A'ja has been dreading for months, because this is not just another practice, not just another photo op in a different jersey. This camp is where USA Basketball quietly chooses who will lead them into the 2026 World Cup and the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. And Caitlin Clark is in the building. A'ja Wilson is not.
Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, Angel Reese, and Juju Watkins will be among the 10 players making their USA Basketball Senior National Team Camp debuts next month when the storied basketball program hosts a training camp at Duke University from December 12th to December 14th.
For years, A'ja has been sold as the face of women's basketball, champion, MVP, the safe, established star the league could build around. But somewhere along the way, the game picks somebody else.
To fall soon. I mean, I don't know how much access we'll actually have to this, but Team USA announced the official invites for the training camp they'll be having in December, and Caitlin Clark amongst them, as is her teammate Aaliyah Boston. So those teammates get to team up for Team USA, which makes a lot of sense. And I've said for a while, I think that the next version of the USA Olympic team could be a bit of a dream team, given you'll have the players that came up in this explosive era of basketball, along with the remaining veterans who are still in their prime, and it will be this recognizable roster, of course, headlined by Caitlin Clark, who rather famously didn't make the team in 2024.
And tonight, that choice could not be more obvious. Inside Duke's gym, you've got Sue Bird, Kara Lawson, and a room full of WNBA and college coaches watching the future of Team USA run up and down the floor. Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Juju Watkins, Paige Buchers, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, all sharing the same court, all auditioning for the same golden era.
When it is, we are going to see Caitlin Clark back on a basketball court with other participants. This is going to be rather interesting because we are going to see Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Beckers all playing together. Now, we talked about the fact that Team USA, I believe it is in March, is going to play, I believe, in some qualifiers. That's probably when we're going to get to see Caitlin Clark play actual meaningful basketball again. But training camp is coming. The senior camp is coming. And it's coming in like 2 weeks.
The cameras are pointed at one person. Everywhere Caitlin goes, ratings follow, crowds sell out, and tickets jump. She isn't just another guard fighting for a roster spot. She is the most powerful engine in women's sports right now.
A'ja Wilson started this whole thing, which is complete BS and nonsense. This should never be a conversation, and it wouldn't be a conversation. We would just be talking about how great and entertaining we think Caitlin Clark is. We just be talking about how dominant A'ja Wilson is. We just be talking about how nice Paige Beckers is. But no, A'ja Wilson started this. Don't forget that.
But if you're A'ja Wilson, that reality has been getting harder and harder to ignore. Think about the last year. Caitlin signs a massive shoe deal and instantly becomes the face of the brand. Her merch sells out in minutes. Clips of her unboxing her own shoe go viral. Her logo is everywhere. Suddenly, social media starts pushing another narrative. What about A'ja? Why doesn't she have this? Why is Clark getting everything? Instead of letting Caitlin's moment breathe, the timeline turns into a comparison war. Every award Clark wins, every record she breaks, every cover she lands, the same energy pops up around A'ja. She shares quotes about being patient. What is delayed is not denied. On the surface, it sounds positive. Underneath, it feels like a public reminder that she still thinks the spotlight should eventually land back on her. Meanwhile, Caitlin just keeps hooping. Rookie season, triple doubles, logo threes, road crowds treating fever games like playoff events. When she speaks, she never attacks other players. She credits veterans, praises teammates, and keeps the focus on the growth of the game. That contrast matters, because when USA Basketball invites Caitlin Clark to senior camp, they're not just rewarding stats. They are signaling what kind of star they want, leading them into a home Olympics. Somebody who can run the offense, somebody who can sell out arenas on every continent, and somebody who understands that when the spotlight hits, you use it to grow the sport, not to keep score on social media. Imagine being Asia right now. You're a champion. You've won everything there is to win domestically. You've been told for years that this is your era. But when the most important camp of the next decade tips off, you're not in the gym. You're on your phone, staring at photos of a player 5 years younger than you, wearing the jersey you always thought you'd own without question. You see Caitlin in Team USA gear, laughing with Aaliyah Boston. You see videos of her hitting deep threes in front of coaches you thought already knew who you were. You see the comment sections. This is her team now. Build Team USA around Clark. And no matter how many times you tell yourself it's just one camp, it doesn't feel like just one camp. It feels like the sport has quietly moved on without you. That's the real meltdown. Not some screaming rant, not flipping tables or calling people out by name. The meltdown is the sinking feeling that for the first time in your career, the future doesn't revolve around you. It revolves around the player you and your fans spent months trying to minimize. So what happens next? For Caitlin, this is the start of a new chapter. If she clicks with Boston, if she proves she can run the American offense on the international stage, she's not just a WNBA star anymore. She becomes the face of global basketball, World Cups, home soil Olympics, commercials, documentaries, and kids around the world wearing her number because they saw her do something insane in red, white, and blue. For Asia, there are only two paths. She can keep leaning into the comparisons, the cryptic posts, the unspoken resentment, or she can finally accept what's already true. Caitlin Clark is not the enemy. She is the expansion pack. She brings more money, more attention, more respect to a game that never had enough of it. The question is whether Asia wants to fight that tide or surf it. Because this much is clear. Team USA just told the world who they believe the next decade belongs to. And if that hurts, maybe that's the part that needs to change. Do you think Asia Wilson is just jealous of Caitlin Clark? Or does she have a point about how the spotlight is being handed out? Let me know in the comments. And if you're still watching, drop Team Clark down below so I know who made it to the end.
As for what Engelbert is alleged to have said to Collier, if she actually suggested Caitlin Clark should be grateful for what she makes off the court, that's preposterous. Did you miss the Iowa years? Clark is the Tiger Woods tide that lifts all boats. And we know this show is proof. The highest rating we have ever had followed one of her games at Iowa. The WNBA has benefited from her presence more than the other way around, even though this year for Caitlin Clark was essentially lost to injury.
200,000 WNBA fans just did something the league never thought they would do. They stopped cheering, stopped buying, and lined up behind one message, loud and clear. If the league will not respect its own players and its own audience, the fans will walk away.
For breaking news, hot off the press, look like Caitlin Clark might be forced to not sign a CBA agreement and forced to participate in the 2026 WNBA lockout. Now, guys, I have to be honest, man. I'm hearing some things in the background with this whole CBA thing, and it's looking like, I just hate that I gotta say this, bro. It's about to be a lockout.
This is the story of how the WNBA's most passionate supporters turned their love into a full-scale revolt, and why those 200,000 signatures might change the league forever. It did not start with a boycott. It started with a feeling. For months, fans watched Caitlin Clark get knocked to the floor, targeted by hard fouls, and then blamed when she reacted. They saw the league use her face to sell out arenas, but stay quiet when she was getting hammered on the court. Every game, the tension built a little more. Then came the off-court drama. reports started to leak that league leadership was not happy about players doing outside events, especially when Caitlyn's golf appearances began pulling huge crowds and headlines.
Honestly, just got so triggered by Caitlin Clark's golf debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA, because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day.
Suddenly, you had stories about warnings, about focus on the WNBA, about players being told what they could and could not do with their own time. For a lot of fans, that was the breaking point. It felt like the league wanted all of Caitlyn's value, but none of Caitlyn's freedom. It felt like the same old double standard. When other stars branch out, it is great for the game. When Caitlyn does it, suddenly it is a distraction. The frustration started online, like it always does. One fan posted a simple idea. If they bench Caitlyn, we bench the WNBA. Boycott 2026. It was not a slick campaign. It was not run by a brand. It was a basic pledge page and a hashtag. But within hours, the numbers began to climb. 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. Clips of hard fouls and icy press conferences were stitched together with that same message. Why should fans keep paying for a product that treats its biggest draw like a problem instead of a partner?
The WNBA, a league which has existed for about 25 years, maybe a little bit more than that, I think about 30 years now, if I'm not mistaken, which has never turned a profit, which nobody was paying any attention to until the last year or so when they brought in Caitlin Clark, and they basically have been kicking the crap out of this girl. Why don't we start with the game this week that really just caught the top of everybody's mind? Take a look.
Watch when Caitlin Clark is trying to create some space. It looked like she just got hit in the eye there.
Ooh, and Marina Mabry. I missed that one, Idona.
Oh, I missed that one too.
Stephen A. Smith went on and was discussing just all the craziness around Caitlin Clark, and he kind of, I think, got it right.
By the time the counter clicked past 200,000, this was not just a rant, it was a movement. What shocked the league was who was signing. It was not only the loud accounts you see fighting on social media every day. It was families who had gone to games for years, parents who had driven their kids to tournaments, grandparents who had watched women's basketball since before there was a WNBA logo on the floor. They were all saying the same thing. We love the players. We do not trust the people running this. Behind closed doors, it became impossible to ignore. Sponsors began quietly asking questions. Is this real? Are we going to be associated with a boycott? Season ticket holders called and said they were evaluating options. Some corporate partners froze activations until they saw how the league would respond. Inside league headquarters, the mood flipped from confident to desperate overnight. Executives who had spent the last 2 years telling everyone that everything was fine now had to explain why hundreds of thousands of their own customers were organizing against them. The same data they used to brag about growth was now proof that those customers could walk out together. At the center of all of this sat the players. Imagine being Caitlyn, opening your phone and seeing a live counter of people promising to abandon the league you just joined. It is flattering because it shows how much they care about you. It is terrifying because you know what a boycott can do to everyone around you. She is not alone. Her teammates, Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hull, and others have all felt the pressure. They know that without fans, there is no TV deal, no sold-out arenas, no pay rises for the next generation. But that is exactly why this revolt matters. The fans are not attacking the players. They are protecting them. They are saying, we are done begging you to treat these women properly. If you will not listen to polite criticism, maybe you will listen to empty seats and canceled direct debits. It puts the WNBA in the most uncomfortable position it has been in for years. On one side, the commissioner and league office, who want to keep control and avoid looking weak. On the other side, the players and the fans, who are finally united in one simple demand: respect. Respect the stars who built this moment. Respect their right to build brands, to play golf, to do commercials, to have their own lives. Respect the people paying money to show up, who can clearly see when something is off. 200,000 signatures are not just a number, they are leverage. If even a fraction of those fans follow through, that is millions of dollars in ticket sales, merch, and TV value gone. The league knows it, the players know it, the sponsors definitely know it. So where does this go next? Either the WNBA listens, owns its mistakes, and starts working with its biggest star and her fan base, or it doubles down, pretends the revolt is just online noise, and risks losing the very people who dragged the league into the spotlight in the first place. Here is the truth. You cannot market yourself as a modern league built on passion and progress while treating your most influential player like a problem to be managed. You cannot celebrate sold-out arenas one week and ignore the voices that filled them the next. At some point, you have to choose: control or connection, short-term power or long-term growth. The fans have made their choice. They are ready to walk away to prove their point. The only real question now is whether the WNBA is brave enough to admit it needs them more than they need the WNBA. If you think the fans are right to demand massive change, hit like on this video so more people see it. Subscribe if you want the full story every time the league tries to play games off the court. And if you are still watching, drop Revolt 2026 in the comments, so I know you are one of the fans who refuses to stay quiet.